Alright, welcome back to my channel. My name is Riley, and today I want to walk you guys through my first ever custom bullet journal. So I made this journal for my mom actually, which I feel like makes it even more special. And it's not really like a traditional bullet journal. Like she's not going to use it as a planner. I'm not going to use it to track her habits or moods. But I am using kind of a bullet journal aesthetic and an actual dot grid journal to make a 1 line a day, it's actually more than 1 line, but 1 line a day memory book. So I myself have owned a few of these memory books that actually I've got from different places. This one was from Chapters. You can hardly even see what it says anymore. But yeah, it says 1 line a day, a 5-year memory book. And so basically every single day for 5 years, you write like a couple sentences about that day. So this is my new one here that I have not actually started yet. I'll be finishing this one at the end of 2020. And I've already got my next one all ready to go. This one's from Amazon, so I'll try to link it in the description. But yeah, the way it works is every single day, for example, May 3rd has a spot for you to write about that day for 5 years. So like 2021, 22, 23, 24, and 25. So when I'm writing about May 23rd or May 3rd in 2025, I'm going to be able to look back and see everything that I've done over the past 5 years. So that's what I've been doing for the past few years, just using these different journals that I've gotten for gifts. And I decided to make my mom a similar one. It's only going to span 2 years, but that's kind of what it was based off of, this whole like multi-year 1 line a day memory book sort of thing. So this is the journal right here that I've used for my mom's. I talked about this exact journal in my sort of budget-friendly stationery video if you're interested in checking that out, because I got this for $3 from Dollarama, and it's great. Like it's got dot grid pages, it has 160 pages, pretty standard, and it works really, really well, especially if you're not planning to paint in it or really go nuts with adding lots and lots of marker. 1 layer of marker everywhere is completely fine for these pages. They really are pretty durable, considering it's a very budget-friendly journal. So this is what I'll be using, and I just want to walk you guys through what this 1 line a day sort of memory book looks like for my mom. Now she chose a floral theme. I am hoping to do more custom journals in the future. I know I want to do one for my sister and some of my friends, and I might even start making them for other people too. But yeah, this is kind of her theme and my first ever try at a custom bullet journal. So this right here is the journal. So you can see it's got this very interesting unbound look, a very neutral cover, just says bullet journal in gold foil. And I made a little sort of title page, I guess. This one is for my mom, and I'll be giving it to her for her to use for the year of 2021 all the way through 2022. So she'll be able to keep her memories in here for 2 years. So my mom asked for different like floral and leafy themes. So basically each month has a cover page and then kind of like a free page. So my mom chose to have a prayer page where she can just list prayer requests for that month. But other things that you could use this for are like events, plans, quotes, something like that. So after the title and the free page, we get into all of the days. So you can see each date here, January 1st, has a slot in 2021 and 2022. So when she's writing in 2022, the previous year's notes are right there, so she can take a look at what exactly was going on the year before. So this is January, just a really neutral green leafy theme. And then every month ends with a highlights page. So for months that have 31 days, the highlights get a smaller portion, but for months that only have 30, the highlights get a full page. Now here we have February. We've got a loose pink floral theme with a nice bold serif font here. Again, a little prayer page with a spot for 2021 and 2022. And again, each day of the month has 2 spots, one for 2021 and one for 2022. And then we have our highlights right at the end. Now March, I like how the March theme turned out. I think this one will be my mom's favorite actually. She loves the loose floral drawings that I do, so I think she'll really like this wreath. So for March, we've got our prayer page again, a spot for 2021 and 2022, and then a spot for each day. And you can see all of the months look kind of different, and they just carry on the theme of whatever that month's title was. And I will say, some months I really love, some months I really don't love, but you know, this is my first one, so I think this was just a sort of learning process. For April here, we've got some vines, and I actually used a Tombow brush pen to make these vines instead of just my fine tip marker, and I kind of like the thickness that it added to the leaves. So we've got our prayer section here for 2021 and 2022, and then a spot for each day in both of those years. And of course our highlights, which get a full page. Now May here, not one of my favorite themes if I'm being honest. My mom really loves purple, so I tried to incorporate that, but I'm not sure I did it right. So we've got our prayer page, then we've got each day of the month of May, and then our highlights for the month of May. Then we have June. I kind of like the June theme, just a couple daisies in a jar, and so I use those colors, kind of a very soft gray and a yellow throughout the month. So for each day, you can see I incorporate those themes. July is a fun one here. Used lots of bright colors to make just a loose, like leafy sort of pattern here. And we carried those colors through the entire month. So with our prayer page, a page for each day, all the way to our July highlights right over here. Now August, probably one of my favorites. I really like the black and white florals with that gray serif-ish font. Not totally serif, but that G's got a little bit of a serif flair to it. So we've got our cover page, our prayer page, and then again, a spot for each day in both years. And finally, we'll have our highlights page for the month of August. September, again, try to go for that floral in purple. Not totally sure I sold it, but I do like how the headings turned out for this month. And then a spot for highlights. Now October, I really think she'll like this one too. Just a really muted, sort of dark green in that wreath shape. We've got our nice simple prayer page here, and then a spot for each day, October 1st, 21 and 22, and so on. I think the last 3 months are easily my favorite. Like I kind of hit my stride, you know what I'm saying? November, I really love how this one turned out. The orange and the gray, I wasn't totally sure, but I ended up loving this title page here. And again, kept the theme going throughout for our prayer page. And this one I did set up different, so most of the other ones have been sort of like a horizontal layout, and this one's kind of split into 2 columns. Still, we've got both of the November 1st right by each other, so you can still look back, kind of reminisce on last year, but I did try playing around with a few different formats. And then we've got our highlights page. And finally, for the last month, we have December. I like how this one turned out too. It's got a really December feel to it, you know? Some nice muted gray tones with that burgundy, I think worked out really well. We've got our prayer page. I decided to stick with the 2 columns look for this month as well. And of course, we've got our highlights right at the end here. Now these journals are, I mean, they're kind of limited as far as the number of pages, but with how I've spaced everything out, there are 2 free pages here, which you can either use for like total yearly highlights or notes, quotes, something like that. Thank you guys so much for joining me to walk through my mom's custom 1-line-a-day bullet journal. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if this is something that interests you, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, if you have ideas for themes or how you would like to use a 1-line-a-day journal like this, please feel free to drop all of that in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Again, I tried to link as much as I could in the description box as far as the different things that I use to create this journal. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you again in the next video.